Garden gnomes have had their day. It's time for a new kind of yard character, one born from pixels, plastic, and a bag of concrete. Meet Pebblewink. Small, unique, and absolutely not your grandma's lawn ornament. No one's really sure where Pebblewinks come from. Some say they appear when you combine high-end design software with sleep deprivation. Others say they just show up in gardens that need a little help in the character department. And the wink? It's his way of saying hello. A little charm, a little mischief, just enough to keep things interesting out there in the yard. Every Pebblewink has one. It's a tiny gesture that says, I didn't choose the garden life chose me. In this video, I'm going to show you how these guys were made. We're going to go from CAD design, 3D printing some molds, casting the concrete. So join me as we create some magic. Come see how these little legends were made. Welcome back to Timber West Design, where we talk timber, shade structures, and outdoor living. Here are the supplies you're going to need for this project. Some Cementol cement mix. You need a scale to weigh out the ratio of Cementol to water. You need a way to mix it. I love this drill mixer, works really well. You'll need a mold, 3D printed files on my website. You'll need some mold release. I love the canola oil. After it's cast, you're gonna need some paint. So depending on the color you're gonna use, I use the Flexstone paint. So you're gonna need a primer and a Flexstone, and if you want a different color, the corresponding color to that, and some sandpaper and some spot putty. That should get you started. Let's go ahead and build one of these. Here's the face expression I came up with. That was kind of fun. So there's a front mold and a back mold. So this is the concrete portion. This shows the mold with the flange. We go to the back. This is the back with the flange that mates up with the front. And let's get ready to send these to the printer. It's always fun to see the 3D printer bring my creations to life. I'm really looking forward to seeing how this looks in concrete. The molds are done from the printer. Let's get some mold release on these. Get these ready to pour. So just a light film. Take a foam brush and just make sure everything gets just a light, nice layer on there. And then we're gonna bolt these things together. All right, the molds just go together like this. Take some 1/4-inch bolts, line them up, and put some washers and nuts on them. So we're just about ready to pour. So I'll get all the bolts on here, get it snugged up, and let's start mixing some concrete. Concrete is ready to pour. Let's get this mold filled up. Looks like we got just enough. I'm gonna overfill it slightly, and as it sets up, I'll just tool that off with the trowel. Give it a few hours and let's pull this thing. I'm excited to see how this is gonna look. Quality sleep is the foundation of our health. It influences how we think, feel, and perform. When we sleep well, we enjoy more energy and focus, stronger immune system, improved mood and mental clarity, greater resilience to stress. Imagine sleeping like a baby every night. Think what your life would be like if you could sleep deeper, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling fully refreshed and rejuvenated every day. With Newcomb's proven sleep protocol, you can enjoy the best sleep of your life with ease. It's been about 3 hours. It's time to take the bolts off. So we're gonna just loosen these up and start taking things apart. I'm really anxious to see how this is gonna look. It's gonna be a fun little project. All the bolts are off. I like to take a screwdriver, put it in between the parting line here, and just, there we go, pop that one off. And then this one, just kind of tap the edge a little bit. And out she comes. Look at that. It's a little wet, that'll dry. Very fun, very fun. So we'll give this overnight or so to dry. Start sanding edges, get it ready for primer. It's been a couple of days for this little guy to dry out. So what we do is we sand this parting line here where the molds meet, and just take a little bit of sandpaper. I'm using 150 grit. It's not going to take much, just till it feels smooth. It's just going to go all the way around it. Primarily the parting line, everything else is looking really good. I do like to hit the surface though, just to abrade it, just lightly, that you know, in case there's any mold release residue, and just so the primer sticks well. So we'll hit that, hit the surface. One more thing I forgot to mention, when I'm done sanding, I vacuum it all off really good, and you think it's clean, but I'll take a damp paper towel and I'll just wipe any residue of dust, and you think it's clean, and look at that, you know, it's not clean. You know, I want it as clean as possible before we do any painting or priming. So we'll just wipe it down, give that just a 10-15 minutes just to fully dry out, and then we'll go to the paint booth. Okay, we're ready to spray some primer. So got my fillable sandable primer on here, my little handle, and it's time to, I just put a kind of a light-ish coat on for the first one. This is a building primer, but the first coat, I go just to cover it. And then I let that flash off for just a few minutes. It flashes off quick. And then once it flashes, then I start loading it. I'll put some pretty heavy layers on it, and maybe go 2 or 3 layers of heavy, and then we'll kind of take a peek and see how it looks at that point. And if it's looking good, we'll take it to the workbench and put some spot putty on it. So we'll see at that point. The primer's dry. There's just a few little spots, nothing too crazy. I'd like to take some spot putty. I can take a glove and just kind of spread it on some of the spots that need a little attention. It's looking pretty good though. I'll hit this parting line a little bit with some spot putty, and then we'll sand it with 150 grit sandpaper. The textured paint I'm using, the 150 grit's plenty. If it's a smooth paint job, I'd go maybe 220 after the 150, but that's what's gonna do for this one. So I'll see in a little bit. We'll sand this down and I'll see it at the paint booth. I'm using a gray flex stone from Rust-Oleum, and it needs a gray base, so I'm gonna use the primer base for this, this color. Let's see how this one looks. So it's a light coat. Very light first coat. Just fog it on. Get some coverage, but we're not gonna load it too heavily just yet. Okay, that's pretty decent for a first coat. I'll give that maybe 30 minutes, come back, hit it with another little bit heavier coat than that, and then kind of see how it looks, and maybe a third coat. We'll take it from there. So this is looking pretty good. Just one more, I think just one more layer on top of here is going to take care of it. So just kind of go around and just put a fairly decent coat, just get some decent coverage. I think this is going to look really good. There we go, looking fantastic. This one has a brown base tone, and we're going to do the brown flex stone on here now. Like we did on the previous one, just a light first coat. Just get it good and covered, not too heavy. And then we'll come back for a final pass. The paint jobs are done. As you can see, I did 2 colors. I think they look really good. I love the stone texture on these. So let's talk a little bit about paint and paint techniques. So this flex stone, the base color drastically affects the overall finish. So on this one, I just kept the primer gray because it was pretty close to this. On this one, this is what the cap looks like with this tone. I didn't have that undertone of a paint, so I did this dark one, and this is what it turns out when you have the fleck on dark. It's completely different. It was a little too dark for me, so I ended up using this as the base coat and the fleck, and this is what it ended up with. So you can kind of play around with that. Different base coats with the different flex stones and different combinations are going to give a drastic different result. So that's the story of Pebblewink, born from a wild idea, a 3D printer, and a whole lot of concrete dust. He's already claimed a spot in my garden, and if you're brave enough, he might show up in yours too. If you like this project, check out my other creations I've brought to life. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. You can grab the mold files at my website at timberwestdesign.com. That's it for this video. Now go out and build something that makes you smile.